Hello and welcome to the Grandshelt Nights. We're here with Podcast 30 and talking about Automata Regina on FFBE. I'm your host, Awsome, and we have Kuja and Xer0 here with
Hello.
us.
It's Automaton.
Oh, Automata. Automaton! Automaton!
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Whatever. Anyways, we're talking about Regina, the fembot. I'm just gonna call her fembot. Why not?
I don't think she has guns that pop out of her boobs.
There's more fembots than that.
Yeah.
This isn't Austin Powers, by the way.
Well, you know.
I mean, wherever you like
She
to
could
focus.
Yeah, she could have stuff in her boots, and those boots are made for walking.
Oh my gosh.
That's they'll do.
Alright, yeah, okay.
Anyways, so we're just going to talk about Regina and the banner this week and the story event. That's pretty much all that new happening since the item world got pushed off till who knows when. Anyways, we're going to start with Kroa. Kuja, do you want to give us a heads up?
It's a 3-star support. Its TMR is Honorable Rod Arts. It's a 30% magic that gives you Equip Rod, which is actually pretty solid.
Especially
for
if
units that need Equip Rod. Yeah.
like Freya.
Freya.
You could do it with Aurora Frivia or Frivia too if you want to do magic builds. Might be easier to get higher magic.
It's essentially
maybe.
2 TMRs in one, so you don't waste a slot.
Yeah, it's
just efficiency.
also you don't have to pay for crysts either, because that's how you get the Rod Mastery is through Star Quartz. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
I was
Yeah.
Cryst Quartz, whatever.
As the unit goes, yeah, I don't think she's that good.
He's not very good. But if you're a beginner and you need a buffer, 120% buffs are not bad. But if you do not cover this unit, it will die. Because he hurts himself to help everyone else. Other than that...
Well, the only thing I say is, if you're just starting, you're not gonna get the benefit from a unit that's just buffing your parameters. So I don't think you're gonna be using him anyway.
Yeah, I understand. I'm talking more like if they start doing trials and they don't have an actual buffer. You're probably going to want to break her before this, but, I mean, who knows what you're going to have. So, if you happen to get this person and you don't have any other alternatives, it's not bad. Or he's not bad. It, he, she, whatever. Yeah.
I would say if you have this unit, right, if you're early in the game, you have this unit, sure, it's fine, but for you to sustain this unit or use this unit, you have to have one of two things. You either have to have somebody to give this person resistance to their breaks, or you need to have a person to re-raise this unit. And chances are, if you do have those units anyway, you probably have another buffer in your party somewhere.
Well, you can get away with just raising it and having an actual tank, too.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning stuff, you're usually tanking one type of attack or another. You don't get to the point where you're having to deal with both types till later in the game, and you definitely will have something better by then. So you could cover, like if you have like Warrior Light, you could cover this character for physical, and if you have Mystia, you can cover magical and prevent this character from dying. So I don't like it's a hard unit to use. But again, it's a 120% buff, and that's really high for a 3-star. That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, yeah, this unit's bad.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing else that necessarily, nothing else that's very interesting about this unit. All its passives are very, very weak. Let's move on to the next unit, 4-star unit on this banner. Amber. Amber, I really like the look of Amber's sprite. Unfortunately, as a
Crap.
damage dealer, a 4-star damage dealer, she does. Well, I'm not gonna say she does like poor damage, but she is a finisher. She's not gonna be a
As hard as she
Gainer
is to
of-
build, she's got poor damage.
yeah.
Because she's a true double hand unit, and all true double hand like increases are on 5-star units, so you're probably never going to use this character as a damage dealer.
Yep, pretty much.
But
Because if you have
the
some
one
damage from a next unit, a 5-star unit, you're gonna use that.
But the one benefit she does have is she's the first unit to give us a 2-handed knuckle.
That's it.
Whoa.
Total garbage. Yeah.
If you have
Two-handed-
Sabin or Lilla,
I believe it's a
meh.
fist, 2-handed fist.
oh whatever, knuckle fist, same thing. It's
the
called
same.
Fatal Knuckle.
But yeah, I mean, as a unit, this unit is bad.
Yeah, the debuffs
It's
are
supposed to be a-
50%, which are like, if you're beginning, because they're locked the way they are, where you have to do an ability before you can get it, it's really bad.
I mean, I will say that she has the unique ability, like Lilla, in terms of using physical attacks with spirit scaling, right? Which is unique to both her and Lilla. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any spirit passives in her kit to even use this.
Well, also, if you look at her weapon list, it's knuckles, flails, and daggers.
Oh, no staves at all.
No staves at
Yeah,
all.
but mace isn't terrible.
Mace isn't terrible, but staves typically almost double the spirit compared to maces. The only mace that has a good amount of spirit is Lilla's.
Lilith.
Sorry, Lilith. Yeah. Lilith, sorry. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's a big difference. One of those units.
I know,
sucks and the
I
other
know.
one
No,
doesn't.
how dare you say Lilith sucks?
One's a damage dealer,
Wait,
one's a tank.
Continue. Continue.
Anyways, yeah, she doesn't. Her biggest downfall is the fact that she's a true double hand character. Like back in the day when they had Yang, you could go without a weapon and actually get a really good buff. With this character, you can't do that, so it immediately loses its benefits at all, and you're just gonna wonder if you want the fist.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're gonna use her. I think you're just gonna TMR farm her or Moogle her or whatever. And get her
Yeah.
first, that's it.
I don't even think you'll use her on like 4-man trials if they come out.
Yeah, that guys,
Mhm.
you want to use your 2-handed fist, just call 555. Never mind.
Wow.
Xer0, stop giving out your number. Anyways, on to the next one. We've got Vesphia. Vesphia is a black mage, and she's actually good. Not just her TMR, but as a unit, she's actually good. The Nutkin hairpin is fantastic. It's basically half of Rem's STMR, because it's 40 magic, 40% magic.
Yep.
That's really nice.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's the best in slot for magic on an accessory.
Oh, except for Rem's STMR.
Yeah, except for rank.
As a unit, she's actually pretty good. If you can't have 2 of her, she has flood chaining, so you can match her with a flood chainer. If you have 2 of her, she has 2 good skills, a great contract, and Aqua Slicer. Great contract does
Yep.
more damage, but Aqua Slicer decreases water resistance, so you might alternate them.
Yep, so one of them has a 5 times modifier, the other one has a 2.1, ignore 50,
So
That's,
4.2.
and 50% on top of that, so for the decrease in water. That's what I try to add to them.
The biggest
Yeah.
problem is those are abilities, so she can only use them once. So you might even want to stick with Flood.
Well, Flood's not much different than using Great Cataract.
Yeah, and since these are 20 and 30 hits, they're gonna build up just as
Yeah.
much as.
That's
as
true.
man.
That's true. But another thing that's really, really nice about her is she can hide while buffing herself, so she doesn't take damage for the turn she buffs. She
Yes,
can't.
that's extremely unique.
She's literally jumps out of the thing when she's buffing herself and comes back with a buff of 150%. Like, it's
I
not
wish
amazing.
more units had that. Wish more units had that. That's amazing.
It's really nice as an option, especially for a new person. And then she also a 4-star imbuer for water. Like, the only other 4-star imbuer is what, Dash?
Yep, and that's enhanced.
And that, yeah, that's enhanced Dash.
Well, and enhanced dash has got the higher percent chance for it to work.
Hers
he does
does it,
everything.
period.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well, you have a higher chance of killing your teammate with Dash if you don't enhance it.
Yeah.
Her passes are really good. She has 90% magic in her kit. That's really high for a 4-star. What was that, Zero?
Her abilities, her highest abilities are pretty expensive for a 4-star unit. I will say 56 and 52 are very expensive. However, she does come with instant sleep, which she can recover full HP and MP at any time, but she needs to have resistance against sleep on her to use that ability.
Yeah.
That's,
she also
one thing
recovers
that-
5% MP per turn as well, so it's not the worst thing ever.
Yep. But she's a pretty nice unit, and
You're definitely gonna want it for her TMR,
yep.
unless you have multiple copies of Rem's as TMR.
Her LB is not worth leveling, by the way.
No 4-star units LB is worth leveling.
No, there's some, but they're typically
85%
support.
water resistance.
It's
not
just
bad, but
it's
worth it.
just water resistance. If it was a break, I would be more interested, but it's not.
It is a chaining skill that may chain with herself.
I don't. Oh, yeah, it probably chains with herself if you do 2 LBs at the same time.
No,
That's,
not LB. She has a 30-hit skill as well.
yeah, but I doubt it chains with it. I mean, I can't really
yeah,
tell because
usually it doesn't.
it usually doesn't. But I mean, I could be wrong. But if you look, I can't actually check the timings for it.
If that's the case, then she may work with a dupe, and one can do the LB while the other one builds up. And if you notice, their skills are made to build their LB quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you're just. I don't think even if you're new, you're not gonna use a dupe. You're gonna use a friend. That's got a better unit.
She can't chain with anybody but herself.
Flood.
Why-
Flood.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
She could
Flood.
chain
you're not
with Cersei. She can chain with Lulu. She can chain with. Oh, who else was there? Doesn't Ellie have flood chaining now, or am I thinking of the wrong person?
I think you're thinking of the wrong person.
Okay. Well, anyways, there's a few. Flood is a kind of a weak chaining family, but actually, you know what? Let's check out Flood. Chaining Flood. You got Lulu, Seabreeze, Darkfina, Seaside Nicole, Theobald, Maritime Strategist Nicole.
A lot of options.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
lot of options for Flood. For good Flood chainers, there's Black Mage, Golbez, Bart, Circe, and then for just kind of fill-ins, you got Seaside Nicole and CG Nicole, and then of course a few Seaside Nicole. Yeah,
And anybody.
yeah. It's still one of the weaker magic skills, but it's still big enough where this character is really good. I think it's a good character for 4-star. I'm gonna keep it even after I get the TMR,
Yep, black mages matter.
especially if we get the 4-star content. Well, anyways, let's go to the big daddy, or the big mama in this case. Let's go for Regina, the one everybody wants for the spanner.
Yeah, well, it's the 5-star base. So.
Yeah.
But she's pretty. She's pretty solid. She's a finisher.
She's Jake 2.0.
Yeah.
But better. Much
Way
better.
So her TMR is Power Amplifier. It's a hat with 40 attack, 25 defense, 25 spirit, and an ability Gunslinger, which is 30% attack with a gun. It's a pretty solid hat, especially for a gun wielder. The only thing that would beat it on other units, really, outside of STMRs, is Precious Hairpin, which is 45 attack.
But it
But-
doesn't have the. It's good to have the spirit and defense on it.
Yeah, but I mean, Precious Hairpin has HP on it.
And MP.
Yeah, it's got more bulk. But Power Amplifier is going to give you more power if you're using a gun. And again, we're going towards the true dual wield meta, where you're going to be able to fit something like a gun or whatever
Yeah, it could be
into
useful.
other units.
The only benefit
So-
to Prish's hairpin compared to this on any other unit but her, unless you have her STMR, is the fact that if you cap a character, it'll be better to have higher attack on like a 2
Yeah.
on a unit than it would be to have the percentage.
Right.
Yep.
But again, I mean, it also might be useful to have help cap with this and have one or two free material slot.
Yeah, for killers. Nope, I understand.
Killers, more bulk. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could do in your material slot.
Yeah, she kind of needs help with the bulk department in this case.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll get there, I guess.
Yep.
Her STMR is Battle Intelligence, which is 60% attack, flat, no requirements, and
Thank
then
God.
it's also physical. It's a killers for demons, machines, and fairies. So physical killers for those 3 enemy types, and that's pretty good because demons are pretty common, machines are pretty common, fairies aren't so common, but I mean, you know, hey, you do.
She hates him.
I wish
Yeah.
that they would have just made it just killers in general and made it magic and physical. So I mean, it'd be nicer for hybrids, but take what you got. Her stats, stat-wise, they're pretty good in the attack department and pretty meh everywhere
Bad in
else.
the defense, yeah.
So even if you got
She-
percentages in her,
Well, I mean, her HP is
her HP's fine.
okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
The
It's
problem with that is she doesn't have any HP passes in her kit.
20%. She has 20% HP passive.
Yeah,
That's pretty
not much
weak.
compared
Yeah.
to- Yeah.
Her spirit and defense are pretty weak as well.
and
She
she's
is
got 0 passes for those.
she is made to be a gun herself. Just full on attack.
It's one of the
Glass
reasons
cannon.
why they gave her camouflage in her kit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways,
Which
as
doesn't matter.
a unit, she's going to be MP hungry, extremely MP hungry. So if you're going to be using her for longer than like 2 turns, you're probably going to want an MP battery for her, because she's a pentacaster. Sounds kind of crazy, but yeah,
It works.
it is crazy. At 6-star, her pentacast is not that great. It's still good because it gets her LB up, but you lose a lot of modifiers because the modifiers are all dumped into 7-star apparently.
Yep.
Everything at 6-star is a 2 times modifier or 1 times modifier. Actually, there's also a 0. But she has the ability to give herself a barrier while increasing her LB because it's the main reason you're doing the pentacast is to increase her LB. Her LB is super expensive.
Yep. It is. And yeah, mainly the way that she's gonna work is you're gonna do 4 abilities out of these abilities that she has. They're all gonna buff her up, and then the 5th attack you're gonna do is gonna be Regina Cannon, which is her actual damaging move, which also buffs her LB. So you'll do those 4 abilities depending on what you want for,
The fight.
Yeah.
Well,
And
at 6-star, you only have 4 abilities
right.
other than Regina Cannon,
But-
so you're stuck on the exact same rotation every time. Because Master Order, you'd be ignoring the pentacast, and you'd be
Yeah.
just basically be giving her
I don't think you can. I don't think you can even pentacast that ability.
No, you can't.
No.
You cannot pentacast it. But it does.
It's
If
not
you do
even
not
that good.
have a battery, it is useful. even though you're
Yeah.
going to have a healer in your party to make up for what she does to your party.
Yeah.
Because
One
3,000
thing
damage
to-
is a lot.
One thing to keep in mind, at her at 5-star, she is going to be using, count me if I'm correct here, right? If she's using these 5 abilities, that's 40, 80, that's 16, 32, and a
It's
bit
like
more than that.
250 MP a turn. Well, every 2 turn. You gotta realize, because basically her rotation is gonna be, you're gonna
5
pentacast,
abilities.
LB, pentacast, LB,
Yeah.
pentacast, LB, and you're just gonna keep repeating like that.
So if you don't have a lot of MP, what will end up happening if you do not have someone to regen it for you, you will pentacast, LB, master order, LB, pentacast, LB, master order, LB.
Yep.
Because she's
And it's still, it's still viable to do it that way. You're just gonna
Yeah.
get a little bit less damage, but
Well, that, and you'll be having to heal every turn you use master order because 3,000 HP is
Yeah.
a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That's almost all.
but as long as you do it before you put your heal up in the turn, and as long as it's not gonna kill anybody, it's not a bad.
Yeah, it's an extra rotation. I would say an extra turn in her rotation at 6-star, at 6-star form.
Yep.
Because she would have to, heal her MP and everything like that, and then get back up.
But yeah, the reason why I'm like 6-star is still viable is because her LB is still really high damage. The biggest problem that you're going to have with her at 6-star, if you use her, is she's going to get stopped unless you have someone to clear stop.
Or
Because
prevented.
Because she has, she gets stop immunity at 7-star, not at 6.
Yep.
And she's going to decrease her attack, defense, magic, and spirit, which she can remove at 7-star if you can't prevent it. Or you're going to get stuck with that at 6-star, which is going to hurt as well.
All right.
So at 6-star, I don't really find her that viable. She can still do a ton of damage, but I wouldn't really want to use her for more than 2 turns ever.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to keep her MP up at 6-star.
Well, it's
7-star, it's still hard. It's just because she isn't. I don't think she does. She hit? Oh, she's got 10% per turn.
yeah. The problem is the fact that in her rotation, if you don't have stop immunity, you have to wait 3 turns.
And that's gonna be a detriment to her. Like if she doesn't have anything to, prevent stop. So she needs her TMR or STMR.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you have her at
to-
7-star,
You're not going to worry about it.
Her TMR anymore. Yeah, because her TMR is really good. So
Also, if you have Sylvie, Sylvie can not only prevent debuffs, she can also prevent stop with 1 skill. And it's dual castable, even triple castable. So
one thing to note about her LB is that it's a 23 hit chaining move. So one would have to, I don't like using this term, but chain weave it into a chain that's been building up. So as long as it's built up over 10 hits, then you start her LB, her finishing move, to work within that chain as it builds up.
speaking of her finishing move, at 7-star, her pentacast followed by her Regina cannon is stupid. Holy crap.
on turn 1, because you got to realize that
Or every-
she's
Or every 4 turns.
her cooldowns are 4 turns, not 2 that add 10. So you're looking at 20, 28, 33, and then it's multiplied by 2. So you're looking at 34 by 2, which is 68. That's pretty beefy.
And it's a 1 hit. So 68 times multiplier with 1 single hit. Bam.
Yep.
Yeah, she's powerful.
Yep. She's gonna do a lot of damage.
Yep.
But again,
she's there for.
You need somebody to build a chain for her, for her non-LB
To get the
turns,
most out of her.
because- Yeah.
So, just a little quick discussion. Would you guys pull on this banner? So we have the step up, which is not a good step up in reality.
No, it's a pile of steaming dog poo.
The only benefit
would
is
ban.
if you don't believe you have any luck and you want Regina, you are guaranteed one of her at the end, and you don't have a 50-50 chance of getting her. But the better option, which they have, is there's pulls that give you for 5K, they increase the rainbow rate to 5%.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
the
it's- yeah, yeah, it's-
And then
a
she's
5%
and then
rainbow
she
rate.
still has her up. So if you're going to pull any rainbows outside of the final rainbow or the middle and the final rainbow on the 24K, that's a better option. It also
Right.
gives you the tickets, because they decided not to put the tickets on the step up for some reason in there as
Yeah,
well.
they put them in the 5K thing.
They should have been at both. Whatever. Anyways,
So if you don't have, if you can't do the 25K and you really want a chance of getting Regina, you can get it for 10K. Do get 2 of these banner pulls to get 2 tickets, and you'll get 2 from the story, and you'll have an okay chance. Chances are, if you don't get it through the pulls, you may get it through the ticket itself, and you probably will get some rainbows along the way. You may get a rainbow or 2 along the way. Yep.
Yeah, basically, that's I think the best way to go. Because essentially, everybody thought we were going to get the 12K banner that we've been getting for story events, which give higher rates for rainbows. The 25K doesn't even do that. It gives you just regular rates, and then you're guaranteed a random rainbow at step 3 and a Regina at step 5. 25K laps is a lot for a guaranteed, Regina. I mean, I'm a proponent of
I
not
agree.
doing the 25K pulls ever, because I don't think they're worth it. It's too much investment for.
Unless the 2 units on the banner are really, really good.
Right,
would-
unless you're going in on a banner where you want both units, and you want both units 7-star. Then the 25K is okay.
And
You're
there's,
still not
there's
likely
a
to
rate
get.
up. And there's a rate up. At least some kind of rate up.
I've always liked the 12K and the 11K step ups better. Because I know you're not guaranteed to get the unit at the end, but your chances of getting them are very high. Chances of getting multiple copies is higher than doing a 25K step up.
yep, it's either all or none with those 12Ks usually.
Yep.
So for me, for most users in the game, I don't really think this is worth pulling for. And
Yep.
this is as someone who did pull on this banner. She's extremely strong, but she's really unnecessary. And it's not because you don't want strong units, but the units you're going to want to get first is, of course, you need tank, chainers, debuffer, and healers before something like this. Finishers are kind of like the very
Finishers are the last thing that you would want to put into a party, even though they're significantly important. You can have a pair of chainers, which will be more,
useful.
which will be useful than, just a finisher.
So, to me, I put finishers and buffers about the same level, because the difference between buffing and debuffing is so drastic that buffers kind of, in my opinion, fell off the map. But I wanted Regina, so I pulled her. I was excited about her, 4 or 5 months ago, because I knew about it in JP. So I won't, I definitely won't say don't pull for her. I'll just say if you want to finish her, then she's a good finisher. But if you're a person like asking me what is the best option, I'd say I wouldn't pull on this banner. The only thing I'd do is I'd throw tickets at it, try to get the magic TMR, get Croas if you have those units. Maybe the Fist User if you're using Lilla or Sabin, because there's not really a whole lot of two-handed Fist Users in the game right now.
Nope.
So,
there is a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with this banner, you gotta also realize Regina needs a lot of support. Because she has no imbues and she's got no imperils. So you're gonna need somebody that can do both.
And break resistance.
Well, she can...
She can remove it.
Yeah, she can cure it herself. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's one of her pentacast skills at 7 star. So it's not as important, but again,
like
she gets really weak after it. So
yeah, a lot of the healers have. I mean, a lot of the healers nowadays have break resistance.
Really,
so,
isn't it just Folka?
Well, Folka and maybe it's not just healers though, but there's a lot of units with.
There's some more support characters that have popped out, yeah, that are definitely like that, like Sylvie, like I pointed out earlier.
Yeah, like
I don't think
Sylvie
there's a whole lot of units that do it. I just think it's still pretty rare.
Doesn't Fid do it too? I believe she does have break resistance in her kit.
I don't remember.
Fultra does. She's the one with resistance.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, let's get on to the main event of this banner. Memories of an Automaton. Of course, do this. It gets you crysts, lots of lapis, and a couple of items. You might consider them good or bad. I think they're...
both bad.
The gun, I think, is fairly decent, actually. Because, I mean, it's not the highest attack, but it does give 20% to LB damage. And it's
that you're gonna need.
And if you... I mean, it's, in my opinion, this is almost better than Machine Gun Plus. It just depends on how you stack LB will determine if Machine Gun Plus or this would be better. So it's close to TMR level, if not TMR level. The magical cloak, I don't care about, but it doesn't cost you to make, so you'll end up with it by just doing this banner.
Yeah, it's free.
But
there are a couple of maybe about 3 or 4 of the items that has flat MP and spirit on it that we've gotten in the past. This would make maybe the 4th accessory like this, but it is still really good for a newbie because
it is good for a newbie.
The main story and stuff doesn't have that much equipment that does give flat spirit on it, and 20 is fine. 20 is good. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either.
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
magic at the same time is also really nice if you have an evoker or somebody that requires both.
Yeah.
Yep. Have either of you gotten to the bonus stages yet?
No.
I have not played the event yet.
Oh, I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. But
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the stage before the bonus. So.
They definitely built this to be Regina'd, is all I can say. Because it's Fairy, Machine, and then Demon, which she has killers for Fairy. If you ever STMR, she has killers for all 3 of them. I only remember her having killers for Fairies, though.
Well, she only has that. She has that in her kit.
Yeah.
Base.
Oh, but she also has the ability to add it, yeah.
Yeah, she can add all those other killers with her abilities, so... Yeah, she can add Fairy Killer, Demon Killer, Machine Killer.
Yeah, only thing it looks like we have to worry about is the Fairy. If you go below, if you pass multiple thresholds, it will trigger all of them. You don't get to skip any, which that could hurt.
That's
actually.
Usually most bosses.
Yep, it is usually most bosses. The other one's
But
a
I bet you that
machine.
boss is probably one turnable.
Yeah, it's probably. Well, it's got 35 million HP.
It's
34.
not that much.
For a lot of people, that's pretty high.
Yeah, but if you're using Regina and you're just using bare bones, like you gotta
Chainers.
realize that. Yeah.
If you can just
I
get
mean,
it like a Octoslash or whatever.
it doesn't even matter. I mean, you could just have two support units chaining the same family or whatever. You know, throw pod on two of your support units, even if their damage is nothing.
Yeah, the
Regina's
only
good.
reason I don't like to say throw pod on it is because of the fact that pod is a time limited and it's been gone for a while again. What, 4 months, 5 months now?
Yeah, but I mean, it's one that a lot of
A
people.
lot of
have.
people sought after, yeah. I will
Mhm.
admit that. I'm just saying that I don't like to
And,
mention. It's been
and yes,
half a year or
saying
so.
that basically with the caveat of there are a ton of units that chain, not just damage dealers. Support units chain with each other.
Yep, you got flood
But
chaining
realize-
with what's his face?
Yes, and anybody
Siege
with
Nicole.
Leviathan, as long as you have the ability, has flood chaining.
Yep.
So,
No, I understand. I'm just saying. It's
but, I mean, because that's kind of how if you're gonna use a Regina, that's kind of the deal. You're either gonna use chaining coming from your support units, chains coming from, you know, a unit that can give other units chains, like a Sylvie or a Fid or something. I mean, because taking two dedicated chainers is probably not possible in most cases.
wow. Stage 3 is gonna be a pain in the butt.
I haven't even looked at it yet.
Every 20% he's gonna AOE death your team.
Fun times.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just CG Fina it. They could be really mean by making one of the things to finish it by what's it called? No deaths on the final round. Be so mean. If you can't one turn it above 80%, you couldn't do it.
Yeah, that would make it kind of
Funny.
impossible.
That'd be mean, is what I was saying.
Yeah, dude. No KOs. I'm kidding. It's used three or more items. Use no more than 3 items.
Defeat with LB and Evoke and Esper.
LB, Evoke and Esper, clear the stage in the air. And it's deal ice damage, no Dispelga, defeat a new Magitek weapon with an Esper, that's a pain in the ass. And use green magic, defeat Flickering Presence with magic, and use 3 or more LBs. Oh, that's a pain in the ass one to do.
Well, none of them are no deaths, so if you really need to, you can use something like Nyx. Just put a fire weapon or an ice weapon if you need to do that point.
Well, I mean, again, if you're using Regina is fairly easy to get her LB up.
Yeah, but that's one LB and you might accidentally kill it then.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyways, I mean, it doesn't look too terrible. Who knows? I'll know when we get to it. There have been people that have already beaten it, so...
Yeah, it's probably not that difficult. Because, I mean, there's nothing that's holding you back on this last boss.
Look
really.
at how Senzar beat it. He beat with
It's 4
Galoof,
stars.
Sarah, Garnet, Mystia, Riku, and Regina.
Yeah.
So yeah, Regina.
What that tells you is it's easy.
Regina's baller.
And it's easy.
I don't know. Senzar can finagle those things pretty well, so I won't say it's easy till I've done it. Anyways, you guys have any more comments about everything that's happened?
No.
Nope,
I mean, we
not
might get
really.
a nice little surprise and have Item World back at any point. But
I think they're gonna put it off
we
till
don't know.
next week since they've already gone a day without it. No, 2 days now, right?
Well, yeah. Technically, I think it's the second day that the event would have been up. So, hey, you never know. We could wake up tomorrow morning and have it. We could not. It is what it is.
It'll be like Christmas.
Not exactly.
Xer0, that's such a terrible title. I love it.
So on that note, I think we're about to finish ourselves, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Have a good evening.
Good night,
See you
everybody.
later.